You guys, major update regarding the incident in New York City that took place in November of 2020. A man was trying to take a child from the mother, tug of war on the stroller. Brian Kemsley sees the situation, sneaks up from behind, takes the man down, puts him in a rear naked choke, gets into over-under, and controls the guy for approximately 20 minutes. Holding him one side to the other side because he was losing circulation in his legs and his arms, so he had to keep switching sides. Eventually, authorities show up. The man is taken into custody without further incident. But there's a major update. But before we tell you what that is, Brian came to California. He messaged me last week. Henry, I'm gonna be in town and I wanna train. I said, come Monday night, no gi, master cycle. We just had a great class.
It was wonderful.
I had a chance to train with him and I was very impressed with his movement, his fluidity, his fluency in jiu-jitsu. And then at the end of class, I broke down the incident to the whole group class, and then he shared a new detail about the incident and what happened after the fact. Brian, you take it from here.
Sure. It was about a year and a half after this incident. And there was another incident, I don't know if you guys recall, but on the subway in New York, about a year ago, there was a military guy who unfortunately choked a guy to death, a homeless person that was acting out on the train. He did something similar, put him in a rear neck choke, but he didn't let it go, and he ended up, the person ended up losing his life. Now, after this incident happened, the sister of the perpetrator of the case I was involved in found my contact, gave me a call, and she started off just by thanking me and said, I don't know if you heard about the situation on the subway, but you were in the same situation with my brother, my older brother, and thank you for not taking his life. Now, obviously, taking his life was never in the books by any means, but we spoke on the phone for about 30 minutes, and she, very nice lady, wanted to share with me why her brother is the way he is. So she let me know that when they were growing up, when her brother was about 12 or 13, their father murdered their mother in their house with everybody in it, did it in their bedroom. Now, the older brother was the first one that found the body. She describes it how he went into the room searching for his parents after hearing a commotion, seeing a body underneath a blanket on the bed, peels the blanket over and sees his mother who's passed away. And the way she described it was a brutal scene. Obviously, when she's sharing this with me on the phone, I'm crying on the phone because it's her story and she's sharing it with such conviction and honesty, and really wanted me to know this information about her brother. Now, it turns out he then went outside the bedroom. The rest of the kids now come and try and find their mom, and he stops them at 12 years old, 13 years old, doesn't allow anyone in the room, shuts the door, protects his younger siblings, calls the police, handles all that with the police, ended up in foster care with everybody, continued to help raise the siblings until everyone was over 18 and out of the program. And at this point, he's about 21, and he kind of let loose out in the wild, almost as if the pressure of dealing with his parents, mother's murder, raising the kids, after everyone's all good, he went out into the world and unfortunately, got mental health issues. He was first diagnosed in his mid-20s and drug addiction and all that stuff. But when she shared with me this information, she said, right after the incident where I was with him on the ground, he cleaned up his life. He went and got help, got clean, no longer homeless, got a place to live. And she did mention there was a month or two where there was a little bit of a relapse, but he's back on that track again.
Oh my gosh.
So it was just a wonderful story, and obviously the hero here is jiu-jitsu.
Because let me just reframe this for them. Remember, Brian is a professional Muay Thai practitioner and competitor. So this is his background, is kickboxing. So I have so much experience kickboxing, a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but yet when push came to shove and he had to take this guy down, he had the skills and the compassion of jiu-jitsu in that moment. Now, you did not have the privilege of knowing it was a mental health episode. He wasn't actually trying to abduct a child. As you said it out to the group class, he thought it was his child.
Yeah.
So he was totally on a different trip.
Yeah.
And he gets in this altercation with Brian, and Brian shows the highest level of control and compassion. And then as a result, the guy is not hurt permanently. He cleans up his life afterwards. And then a year and a half later, when the guy got choked to death on the subway down in New York, and the sister calls to say, hey, thank you for not killing my brother. Here's his story. I think, like you said, the hero is jiu-jitsu, and I just wanted Brian to share this with all of you guys because we never know what the other person is going through, right? And when they have an episode, when someone cuts you off in traffic or tries to take a stroller from someone, it would be very easy to say in a stroller situation, yo, you should just punch the guy in the head, brutalize his face into the pavement, all the Muay Thai you've ever learned. You would be justified because he was trying to kidnap a child.
Yeah. No one will complain.
But yes,
everyone would say you did the right thing.
And then the sister would have never called you.
No.
And the point is, just because it's justifiable doesn't mean it's necessary. That's the key here.
100%.
And if you have the means to neutralize the threat with a lower level of force and still accomplish the objective of keeping everybody safe in the encounter, then you should do that. And jiu-jitsu gives everyone, including kickboxers, dangerous kickboxers, the ability to humanely control and neutralize a violent aggressor. That's what Brian loves about it. That's what we love about it. That's what all of you who do jiu-jitsu love about it. And people out there who, I don't need jiu-jitsu, I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's why you need jiu-jitsu. If Brian didn't have jiu-jitsu, and if he didn't have kickboxing, let's just say, it was just a regular athletic guy who encountered that guy, it would have been a very brutal scene because you would have went all in.
What else do you do? In a altercation like that, if you're trained at kickboxing or boxing or Muay Thai, any sort of striking art, or you're just a muscle builder.
You're just a big tough guy.
You would just go, how do I win this? I gotta hurt him.
Violence.
Hurt him. Okay, he's not limp yet. Hurt him more. Hurt him more. Is he limp? He woke up again. Hurt him, you know?
There you go. So when we have the skills, we don't need the violence. This is as true for civilians as it is for law enforcement. And this entire rack right here and countless other challenge coins that I've received from police chiefs and lieutenants all over the country understand this, right? Jiu-jitsu means gentleness art, you guys. So learn the skills, and in a tense moment, if you have to go all in, there are some situations where absolute violence or deadly force is necessary, both in the civilian and in the law enforcement sector. But if it's not necessary, then neutralize the threat with the lowest level of force that effectively accomplishes the goal of neutralizing the threat and keeping all the parties safe.
Absolutely.
Brian, thank you for coming to visit us, number one. Number two, for showing compassion in that moment, even though you don't owe us anything. And number three, for circling back to share the rest of this story, because I think it makes that incident even more special. It was already remarkable, your technique and your composure and the compassion that you showed. But I think it's a lesson that I want all of jiu-jitsu to hear, that, hey, the reason you're investing in these skills, it's worth it. It's worth investing in these skills because when the day comes that you need to neutralize someone on their worst day, right? Because this is the worst day of the guy's life, doing something, having an episode, violence, road rage, aggression, disrespect to someone, because we don't know what's going on in their life. Their family, something could have happened. They could have been, who knows their background. So on their worst day, apply your best techniques and show compassion if it's possible. Thanks for listening, you guys. Thank you, Brian.
So beautifully said. Thank you. I appreciate it.